When it comes to running a modern business, one of the best things to do is to foster an environment of approachable leaders who encourage cooperation and not obedience. These are subtle details that can be a huge help in getting your employees to follow policies. Here to talk to us more about this is author and consultant Lewis Eisen. Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning.
Now, what do you think is the biggest mistake organizations make when drafting their operational policies?
Well, most organizations seem to talk to people as if they're children. And this is both to their employees and to their customers. You must do this, you must do this, this is forbidden, don't do that. So it's very harsh. And when they complain that people aren't following the rules, it might have something to do with that.
Now, why should a business owner care how the policies sound?
It's a good question. So they're already spending a lot of money on HR to create an environment, trying to create a nice workplace and make people feel welcome. They have a marketing and comms group that spends a lot of time trying to project an image. They have supervisors that are trying to create a culture of trust. All of that work can be undermined by policies that are written that send a different message. So you're trying to send the message, we trust you, we respect you, but you read the policies, that's not the case. That's a lot of money that's going wasted.
So how can management strike a balance between compliance and also fostering a respectful culture?
So it's a very good question. And what it is moving away from the command and control structure that's been common for many years into an environment where you are trying to empower people. So not to think of policies as we need to keep our people in line, but to think of them as these are going to help people do their jobs. That's why we have rules for them.
Well, it's important to understand policies. So what's the best way to ensure that written policies are understandable by everyone?
Okay, actually I have to challenge that, Very common myth that policies should be understandable by everybody, but you know what? Not the case. If I asked you, for instance, if you'd voted in the last election and you said yes, did you read the Elections Act first? See, that's the policy. What you probably read was a little booklet telling you what you need to know. Unless you're an expert in that field, you should never have to read the original policy. You should have a separate piece of communication that tells you everything you need to know to do your job tailored to your own work.
Now, is this only important for employee policies, or does this also include policies for customers as well, like a refund policy, for example?
Absolutely, especially in a refund policy. Harsh wording, like you absolutely must have your receipt in order to get a refund, sends the message, we don't trust you. We don't want you to pull one over us. And those aren't messages you want to send out to consumers.
Now, Lewis, what details can you give us about your book?
It goes through a whole number of techniques for how to reword. Absolutely every strict policy can be reworded so it sounds informative, not instructional, or not, let's say, not like you're yelling at people. And a lot of it, I'm a lawyer by training, so a lot of it is based on the model of legislation. If you look at criminal law, it tends to be worded much nicer than most people's policies. So in the book, I go through a number of techniques for how to do that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. For more information, visit lewiseisen.com.